Welcome back, guys, to TerraTech. I managed to do it. I filled up the long haul. Mostly. Maybe 5 out of 6 of these big tractor pads are full. I guess if I took out this one and dumped its contents into the one on the left, I think we'd have 5 out of 6 mostly totally full. I made some minor modifications. I put these tiny receivers on here to help scoop up items that, were just laying on the ground as the front two filled up. I think this might be the last time I ever use, the first and last I ever do a haul with this. There's some problems with this kind of approach to the game once you start getting into a tech this big, and that is lag because of all the items. I think it's exacerbated by the fact that the despawn timer on items has been increased. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's a value they're playing with, trying to find the right timing. It's definitely longer. So there's all kinds of items here, and I've got a bunch of stuff at my base as well. So I definitely noticed once I got close enough again for this stuff to load in that it got way laggier. Anyway, the goal was to see how much money we'd make on one load. 240,000. So I'm still interested in that. And then what we're going to do, we are going to reposition our base slightly more centrally into the salt flats, so that I'm not worried about hitting some of these crystals. Oh, look, tipping upside down. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Starts going crazy. There are little pieces of ore and whatnot trapped inside the tractor pads and in the wheel hubs and stuff. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to break the thing down, and I am going to remake it as a processing and refining and selling center so that we never have to worry about the lag, because we'll be continually smelting stuff and then turning it into alloys and then selling it on the fly. Let me go into this tab. I've had success in the past with that on a much smaller scale, even way back here when I first started the game. That's the way I did it. Once I got to the bigger techs, I found it was better to just grab a whole bunch, because this thing is fairly slow to get resources. And then one of the things that was very successful in keeping the little bits of ore from getting caught in the wheel wells and basically just jamming up the works was basically putting receivers on the very front. So as soon as things get drilled, they get scooped up. This is another one of my refiners here. So putting the receivers on the front, that's definitely what we're going to do, but we're going to use the bigger ones like this guy. But instead of having all these tractor pads, we are just going to have the mobile processing center. Not sure how big it's going to be, but that is also going to solve one problem I was going to have, in that I'm going to have to move all of this stuff. All of it is going to be kind of a pain in the butt. I'm going to have to move it over there, and it'll be easier if that whole system is just mobile anyway. Ugh. Let's back up here and get within range of these guys, and then let me switch to one of my other techs. Okay, let's switch over here. So we're also going to be making some defenses. Now, I still haven't found the megaton cannon, which is kind of what I wanted to use, but I guess we could maybe do some tests with the smaller version, the 3-pound cannon. Let me see if I can find a spare one. Or, I'll tell you what, let's just grab one off of this guy. So I'm thinking of using these big yellow walls, or the blocks for the walls. But what I'm not sure of is how I want to mount these cannons. So I might have a system where, let me find a brick. It's the frame rate is quite low with all these items around. And while I'm doing all this processing, it will get better. Do I have any spare blocks? Let's just pretend it's bigger. So I might have, oh, there was there was things on the other side. Really need to organize this stuff. We're going to start that today. So I might have these cannons on a configuration like this, where we'll have a big wall, and then we'll have the cannons, like one on top of an extruding brick. Oh gosh, the lag. One on top of the extruding brick, and then one on bottom, like that, so that they can both face the same direction. Now we're going to put an AI module on here, so when an enemy gets close, these things can swivel and shoot. And what I want to see is, I want to do some tests to try to figure out the best configuration on what sort of arrangement of mega cannons will work to where they won't block their own line of sight. Like, can I put them like this, just facing... Actually, they'd have to be facing downwards. But they can shoot basically vertically. So if there's an AI on this wall that can see an enemy, will it be able to shoot? So could I have like one here, one there, and one there? I don't know. We're going to have to test it. But anyway, I'm going to let all this stuff refine. And we're going to move slightly over there. And then when it's done, we'll resume and we'll figure out how much money we made. Well, it took about one full day in-game, but we made 80,000 big bucks. Yeah! Okay, so I've got a new version of Scooter. Actually, I need to save this guy in case I want to make him again. And I made him just like this so that he had a lot of points on his back for attaching things to and moving things from over here to over there. New tech, and I found a use for the Geocore Foreman GPR cab, whatever it's called. That's what it's called. But yeah, I found a use for it in that it fit on this nicely. Can it shoot? No, it can't shoot. Okay, Scooter 4. Get a save job. Now, to move things and to make yet another mining tech. Alright guys, little updates. I've done quite a bit of work, done some organization, just kind of cleaning stuff up. Oh, there's an enemy right there. From here, though, he shouldn't move at all. Just gonna have to take care of him when we get back. I basically put more or less with just a little bit of adaptation. Same system we had onto the top of this guy. So we've got some receivers picking up stuff, and they've done a pretty good job of picking things up and not letting things get caught in the wheel arches or up underneath the vehicle or anything like that. They get passed down the conveyor belt onto these refinery things. Then they go out the other side of the refineries onto a conveyor belt, which then goes around in this direction. You can see the direction of the arrows. So this second conveyor belt passes by these foundries, and if the foundry sees a material it wants, it'll snag it and create an ore and sell it in these delivery cannons. But if it doesn't want it, they'll pass on by and eventually get sold by these delivery cannons. So this whole system works very well. You can just mine continually without ever having to worry about coming back unless you want to charge your batteries. I do need to worry about... Well, I could probably just blow right through that guy with my drills and kill him. There are some baddies up here. But I just wanted to give you a little update on that. I'm basically done designing all these miners. And I've also simplified my base because now we've combined one of my major techs, the miner, with the resource collection and refining and selling area. So that's good. We've simplified things. Now we need to kill that guy and move our stuff over. One thing they have changed is they changed it back to the way it used to be, where receivers pick up simple items. All these things on the ground here. So while I'm going through here, I just kind of have to clear a spot. Otherwise, it's going to jam up my... Or I could be selling them, I suppose. I guess you can only sell GSO stuff. But yeah, this is very good for making money now. Don't have to worry about coming back. Unless my batteries get low. Okay, buddy. You're about to get blown up. I've yet to see the megaton cannon. We're just going to have to keep working without it. We'll find it eventually, I guess. There's still a lot of items I haven't found. And I haven't seen an invasion in ages, so... we will probably, after this episode, wait for a stable patch anyway. And see what changes that brings. Anyway, I'm going to move stuff over to our new location. Alright, so I admit it. Maybe I could have given this guy a little bit wider of a wheelbase. I built him specifically, or at least I originally made him specifically for this idea, to carry items from there to our new base here, where we're starting construction of a big wall, which is also going to hold all of our solar panels and batteries. And I've been doing a little bit of a test here. So these are all anchored blocks. We're going to anchor our wall in the blocks. The problem with anchored blocks is that when you pull out the anchored block, everything on top of it falls apart. It just like they all scatter. But if you use multiple anchored blocks, I've been doing some tests, and I can't even remember what the first anchored block I placed is. So if you just watch, just see what I'm doing. Pulling this. So we're going to have some redundancy here. I think maybe 2 anchored blocks per yellow base tile. I think that's probably enough. So we can do that, and then we can continue the wall. This is a huge deal. TerraTech, the developers really need to redesign the rotation and placement mechanic. How you control how the block is being rotated. So I want to line them up like this, and basically you've got to keep hitting the rotate button until you go through every single possible permutation. Or you can do it like this. But this is not ideal, but this is just the way you got to do it. You have to build a little framework so that where you want it to go is the only possible place it can go. And that's another reason I've got all these little anchored blocks here. So that's not even enough. We can do it like, okay, if I put that there. There. Okay, now it can only go there. And then if I do that, bam. Okay, we've got another wall section. And I've got a little payment terminal. So we can buy a whole bunch more anchor blocks. Let's see. For now, I'm just putting these things on top of here just to have a place to stick them. I don't know what we're going to do with them yet. But this is going to be the basis of our wall. We're going to have weapons on this side. Oh, I've got some more over here. Because I just used those and I already... Oh! Huh. Okay. Apparently... All right, let me think about that. I think I know how to avoid that from happening. All right, attempt number 2. I think this might be a solution. Let's get this Eiffel Tower looking thing out of here. It's like I'm trying to transmit radio waves or something. I just sort of stacked them all up to keep them from despawning. I think this might work. So I've got these armor plates on the corners overlapping, so the game will try to find a connection, if there is one, before everything explodes. So case in point. So see how all this is connected? If I grab this guy and do this, and then I take out this block, it should still stay together because it's going to connect via this sort of shape here. It's going to make a C shape. Yeah, see how it doesn't all fall apart? Yeah, but, okay. So I think that'll be okay. Let's try to take out... These already work. We already showed that. Okay, so the whole thing didn't fall. Getting it back into its spot will still be a pain in the butt. But if I accidentally click on one of these, you know what would be a nice idea is if you could somehow lock an object. So I want to lock this structure. Don't let me click on it. That would be maybe a nice idea. How do I get this out from under there? Oh, I think it might be. Uh-oh, I can't grab it anymore. Oh, that's gonna really annoy the hell out of me. What if, oh, now it is. Okay, good, because it was attached to that guy. There's your solution. And now we've got to do this again. So yeah, this can be fairly tedious. Gonna have to be really careful not to click the wrong thing. I think my motto, once this wall is built, is going to be, don't put anything over here that needs to be clicked. So any area where I'm going to be storing objects that I'm going to be putting onto text and all that kind of stuff, it's going to be over here, well, inside the wall. But let's just, I need to test this. So I put one of these guys down first, and if I pull that one out and the whole thing just falls apart, we'll know we have a problem. So the 2 anchored blocks that were holding that thing together did pop out. Okay, fine. But we gotta test 2 more. It is nighttime. So they have dealt with the lag a little bit during nighttime. And they've done that. Okay, that's okay. They've dealt with it by radically reducing the draw distance at night, which does kind of work. But I don't have a lot of light set up because there's still lag from the lighting engine. Okay, can I put this one? Oh, I need to... No, that should work. There we go. All right, last one. Oh, and let's put these back. Hang on. Yeah, okay. So that didn't work. That didn't work because our original anchored blocks were not connected to the network. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have more anchored blocks in a line. So if we break this, the anchored blocks will still connect to the rest of the wall. That's what we'll do. Sweet! We are all the way moved into the new place, and I've cut down on the clutter quite a bit. And all of the clutter is on the ground, but I think some of it has been despawning. I'm noticing quite a bit fewer items on the ground, which is nice. We're going to see in a second if I can just run around with my warrior bombardier artillery cannon guy and just destroy it if it's laying on the ground. That would actually be a really nice thing. Got my plane. I've got a few kind of item trees here of things that we're currently using that I'm likely to use in the near future. It could be organized a little bit better. It kind of looks like a Christmas tree of weird yellow parts. So we got our miner processor here. The plane there, none of them have bays yet. There's our artillery cannon guy. And the wall is growing nicely. We've got a very strange enemy over there, which we're going to go say hello to. And we'll add weapons to this thing. One of these 3 extra cabs is a drone, so we can tell it to... I'm not sure. Maybe just idle. We'll have to do some tests. I haven't used drones extensively. Oh, yeah, we can blow this stuff up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get out of here, clutter. Bam! Okay, but the wall is going to grow. It's currently recharging us. It's got quite a bit of overlap, a stupid amount of batteries. A lot of solar panels, charging little thingies. And lots of yellowness. These little, the armor overlaps on this side might go away once we add weapons. Not sure. All right, let's go kill this guy. And then I'll get to work cleaning up some of this clutter here on the ground. You have some wheels. I've already got 4 spare, though, so I don't need any more clutter. I might take those braces you got, because I might find... Ooh. Okay, don't all blow up. I might find a use for those. So let's just, I guess, do this. And we'll just carry these back over, and I'll come back and blows up everything else. So I'm going to need several things. We got quite a few things to do. These guys, I don't really have a purpose for those. They're not that expensive. The big yellow 4x4x2 bricks, those are, I think, 1,500. Oh, that wheel. No, I had that wheel. Yeah, okay. Nothing new there. Oh, this is that's a really funny booster setup. So I need an area for my guys without their own shield generators, like the plane and scooter over there. I need a place for them to recharge. And we're going to basically make this an enclosure at some point. And these blocks are so big that hopefully we won't run into too many lag problems. I'll tell you what, can I just drop this right at your feet? Okay, it's not within the bubble. There we go. There, in the bubble. Okay, we can put these here. Yeah, we're going to use these for something. I mean, some part of the wall. I'm not sure exactly how they will be implemented. I don't know how tall the wall is going to be. Does it need to be 1 yellow block taller? It really depends on how many of those cannons we can stack and how effective they are at repelling invaders. But there we go. We've got the beginnings of a pretty cool, awesome base. And I've cleaned up a lot of the random crap, and I probably have a little bit of cleaning up left to do still. Got to go blow this stuff up. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you later. Bye-bye.